Setting the stage, the context of war. The Ride of the Valkyries scene occurs midway through the film when Captain Benjamin L. Willard Martin Sheen and his unit, accompanied by a group of helicopter gunships, embark on a treacherous river journey to assassinate Colonel Walter E. Kurtz, Marlon Brando, a decorated officer who has gone rogue. The scene takes place in the Vietnamese jungle, which becomes a haunting backdrop for the events that unfold. Music as a catalyst for intensity. The choice of Richard Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries as the accompanying soundtrack amplifies the intensity of the scene. The music's triumphant and bombastic melody, typically associated with heroic and majestic events, creates a chilling juxtaposition against the backdrop of war and destruction. As the helicopters swoop over the landscape, the soaring orchestration adds an unsettling allure to the unfolding chaos. Cinematography, a visual symphony of chaos. Coppola's masterful use of cinematography heightens the visual impact of the Ride of the Valkyries scene. The camera follows the helicopters in a series of sweeping shots, capturing the vastness of the landscape and the enormity of the war machinery. The scenes of helicopters rising from behind the trees, silhouetted against the fiery sky, create a surreal and ominous atmosphere. The aerial shots of the Vietnamese village being bombarded are particularly haunting. The juxtaposition of the helicopter's rotors cutting through the air with the destruction and explosions on the ground is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The camera angles and rapid cuts reflect the chaotic and disorienting nature of war, immersing the audience in the raw emotions experienced by the characters. Symbolism, the duality of war. Beyond its visual and auditory spectacle, the Ride of the Valkyries scene employs powerful symbolism. The helicopters, akin to mythical Valkyries, descend upon the village like harbingers of death, reaping souls from the battlefield. The use of this classical music piece reinforces the duality of war, the simultaneous allure and brutality that accompanies acts of violence. Moreover, the scene captures the dehumanization of warfare as the soldiers engage in destruction from a distance. The faceless enemies on the ground become mere targets, reducing the emotional impact of the carnage unfolding below. The scene confronts viewers with the moral complexities of war and the toll it takes on both those who fight and those who bear witness. The madness of war, psychological impact. The Ride of the Valkyries scene embodies the madness and surrealism that often accompany warfare. The soldiers in the helicopters exhibit a mix of exhilaration and detachment as they rain destruction from above. The scene also portrays the seductive allure of power and violence, portraying the psychological descent of men into the darkness of their own minds. As the scene progresses, the destructive nature of war becomes increasingly evident. Innocent civilians, including women and children, are caught in the crossfire, underscoring the senseless brutality of armed conflict. Foreshadowing and irony. The Ride of the Valkyries scene also serves as a prelude to the horrors that await Willard and his unit as they draw closer to their target, Colonel Kurtz. The scene foreshadows the escalating madness and the moral dilemmas that lie ahead. It heightens the tension and sense of foreboding, amplifying the psychological strain on the characters and the audience alike. The irony of using a piece of music typically associated with heroism and triumph during a destructive military campaign is not lost. It exemplifies the complex and contradictory nature of war, where heroism and tragedy are often intertwined. Conclusion. The Ride of the Valkyries scene in Apocalypse Now is a mesmerizing and unforgettable cinematic experience. Coppola's deft use of music, cinematography, and symbolism creates a visceral portrayal of the chaos and dehumanization of warfare. The juxtaposition of the majestic music with the brutal realities of the Vietnam War serves as a haunting reminder of the paradoxical nature of armed conflict. Through this scene, Coppola delves deep into the psychological impact of war on both soldiers and civilians, painting a harrowing and unforgettable portrait of the madness and destruction that accompanies humanity's darkest moments. The Ride of the Valkyries scene stands as a testament to the power of cinema to convey complex themes and emotions, leaving an indelible mark on audiences and cementing its place as one of the most iconic war movie sequences of all time.